So last week we wanted the oil dump, and that is exactly what we've been given. So this is going to give us some amazing short opportunities, guys. This is the daily entry. I'm giving you day trading setups on NAS, Dow, gold, oil, and of course BTC. Let's go. Now, obviously, the big news is this drop in oil, even though we've had war stories, war escalations, things like that over the past weekend, and then threats of pulling back and things like that. So obviously, everybody is confused, but the market has dropped oil substantially. And this big drop in oil obviously gave us a decent move during the course of last week. And you can see over here, last week's trades, Thursday and Friday, I nearly doubled this trading account again on 𝗬𝗎𝗟𝗏. You can see I caught that DGen Dow short there at the end of Friday. So things worked out actually pretty nicely Thursday, Friday, and we want to do it again. So guys, those of you that are interested in doubling your trading accounts, or at least learning about how I trade these TradFi setups on the daily entry, come and join me. We've got a boot camp kicking off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. There is a link in the show description. Come and join me. It's going to be hardcore DGen trading. We're going to teach you that low time frame stuff. We're looking at the ore, we're looking at the reversal setups you see on the daily entry. It's going to be a banger. There's going to be 7 or 8 live trading sessions that you are going to be involved in, including a psychology session. So make sure, if you're interested, go into the show description, click on more, and you will find that link waiting for you guys over there. Okay, quick tip on rules of engagement here. Ideally 2-to-1, 1-to-1 trades. We're cutting the losers early. We're not getting married to positions, and we're playing the good zones only. Okay, so let's start with oil. What has happened? We got the short, and everything fell over, and things have played out beautifully. Obviously, I closed my short a little bit too early and a little bit annoyed about that current situation. So what we are looking at now is oil on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see we've had a monster drop over here, and basically we could look for some kind of relief bounce in oil. They've obviously been selling it now for the last couple of hours, and where do we get an oil bounce, and what does this mean for us? So typically an oil bounce is going to mean that we might have some short opportunities on the Dow, the NAS, maybe some crypto things as well. So we need to look out for this and marry the two together. So where am I looking for a bounce now on oil? Well, notably, oil has lost that 50-day moving average. So that is looking super interesting here, and it opens up some lower levels. Now, in terms of longs for oil, what makes sense to me? Well, the first zone has to be 80, and this is the WTI chart. Look at that bullish order block. Look at this local VWAP coming up here. Look at these horizontals. So I would say in terms of the first engagement zone, we're looking at 80 for oil. This is WTI on the 𝗕VC chart that we are looking at. So look for that long on oil. That bounce on oil could be the short opportunity for the Dow and the NAS. Look out. If oil starts screaming back up to close this gap, things are going to get interesting. If oil drops a little bit further, I'm pretty confident today that we're going to get a long down at 77 or 78. Okay, 78 is going to be the next zone. So you can either look at DGen longs off 80, or you can look at building a position for a bounce between 80 and 78. Now that should coincide with a short on the Dow and the NAS. Let's take a look at a couple of those levels and see what is going on here. So the the Dow at the moment is pumping. This is the 45-minute time frame. And I'm currently flirting with this region over here, this wick region, at some kind of rejection. But in terms of what you could expect by the time you are viewing this, this thing might have dropped or pushed up by the time you are viewing this video. So in terms of high impact zones that make sense to me coming up in the next, say, couple of hours here for you guys, 52,576. This is a simple wick over here. Look at that undercarriage, and you can see our oscillators are getting a little bit overcooked. So I am looking for a short 52,576 in this region here for the Dow, making sense to me for zone number 1. And then zone number 2's got to be this obvious wick sweep to the upside here, 52,840. It looks like your next big short zone. So that should coincide with an oil bounce. You should see that rejection there on the Dow in a perfect world. And again, don't get married to it. Maybe leave a little bit open if it starts running. But essentially, guys, if we get given 1-to-1, 2-to-1, you are out of these positions. Now, where can we look for possible bounces? Well, if this happens happens in the next few hours, or let's say in the next 24 hours, this is the first zone, 52,111, and then lower down I've got 51,900. Okay, so 52,111 is the sweep of the lows, and that could also make sense for a nice long. So 52,111 and 51,900 are the long zones leading into tomorrow. Now, in terms of the NAS, also 45-minute time frame, this one's slightly trickier for me at the moment in terms of identifying the first zone that makes sense to me. 28,754. It's this VWAP over here. We've got a local 618, and we've also got this undercarriage that you see on your screen just floating around that region. So in terms of what's interesting to me, that kind of makes sense, but I want to see that happen pretty soon, and I want to see oil bounce on that support level. Then we should get the opposite move. Now, if the NAS turns into a screamer, like, I'm not happy with the zone up here. There are way too many wicks, so I would say avoid that, or for me, I'm avoiding that area. Where's the next big short? 29,170 into 29,180. That's the short zone there for me on the NAS. Now, remember, guys, all these charts you see here, they go into the Chart Hackers Discord for you, and I've got a specific TradFi section where I give updates in these charts and things like that. So you'll find that in the Hackers Discord. Just click on the show description, go to more, and you'll find the details over there for you guys. Okay, so shorts on the NAS, that's kind of what I'm interested in today. Not really looking for longs at the moment until we get a bit of a bleed out. Now, in terms of gold, this is interesting. I gave you guys a short zone for gold on Thursday and Friday. It was this local 618. Look at that rejection there, 4,111, undercarriage and rejection. What do we do now with gold? Well, gold is starting to print some hidden bearish divergence here as well. Obviously, I'd love in a perfect world to get the screamer now on gold, 4,150 into 4,160, looking best for me at the moment. Not sure what is going to happen to gold if it comes back in the zone. It becomes a little bit of a lottery here for me at the moment. Want to just watch what oil does first. Okay, so 4,111, tentative resistance, higher conviction, 4,150 into 4,160, looking good for a short for me on gold, and I still have my longs waiting, 4,002. Okay, are we going to hit that area at some point? Now, let's talk about the big dog and what is going on. So Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame that I'm tracking here, there's a couple of very clear zones, and you know, we could expect fun and games. Reminder, we also have FOMC coming on Wednesday, so anything is possible, plus war tweets, we got denials, we got new tweets, etc, etc. So what are we looking for at the moment? You can see Bitcoin has had a mini rejection, and I covered this short on the Chart Hackers Zoom that I did last night, and this short is now locked in, but we've used up this area, and I want to tentatively say let's zoom out a little bit and look for some other zones. So in terms of DGen short zone number one, 66,250 makes sense to me on BTC. You could have a crack over there if we pop into that zone. Oil hits support, look for the short on Bitcoin, look for the bounce on oil. If oil carries on dropping, the first DGen zone for me today for Bitcoin, longs, 64,500, anywhere into that zone. So 64.7 into 64.5 looks good. And then I've got my high conviction zone, which is still lower down here, 50-day MA, VWAP, macro 382, and a sweep of the weekend lows takes us into 63.7 down to 63.200. That is the high conviction long zone for me on BTC. Now, in terms of liquidity to the upside, I still believe if we scream higher, we do get an opportunity to look for that short 67 to 68. That is the big danger zone there for me, guys. Look out there. If we pump into that zone, I'm more than likely going to be taking that BTC short, and I'll most likely cover that on the live trading that we are going to do later on the Chart Hackers YouTube. So you can find the Chart Hackers YouTube appearing in a box here in a couple of seconds. You will see it there. That is your daily entry, guys. Good luck with those levels. Keep it tight. We'll see you on live trading later.